Hi, my name is Ariel Wadler, and my preferred pronouns are she, her, and hers. The reason why I'm taking this course, Introduction to Women's Studies, is because, first of all, I needed a credit to fill my diversity uh, requirement. But the reason why I'm taking women's studies in particular is because being a woman, I feel like it's really important for me to know my history, to know what's being done for my gender, to know how I can best as an individual represent my gender, which I don't think is possible without knowing the history and how far we've come. I think that in order to know how much there is left to progress, that I need to know how much progress we have made. And also, I just want to learn about really cool feminists, learn about different definitions, learn about the culture of feminism. I've actually become a really big feminist since taking this course, and it's only been 3 weeks, so I can't wait to see how much more of a feminist I'll become in the weeks ahead. And I'm really enjoying having you, Professor Fernandez, as a professor and all the interesting material that we've had to read thus far, and I'm really looking forward to reading more. So the object that I chose, I'm actually going to talk about the person that most influenced my life, the woman that most influenced my life, who is actually my grandma. She passed away. I get kind of choked up talking about her, honestly. She was not just my grandma, she was my best friend. Her name is Pauline, and we lovingly called her Nana. I'll tell you the kind of woman that she was, which was that we went to a very tiny school, and she would bring us lunch, us being my sister and I, my younger sister and I, so often that everybody at the school knew her and were really excited, especially because she sold perfume, and so they knew that not only were they going to see a really sweet lady, but that they were probably going to get some really good perfume samples too. And when she passed away, it was really hard, not just for my family, but for everyone that knew her, because she made such an impact in everybody's life. She was constantly there for my sister and I, especially because she lived so close to us. I think that she was at our house almost every single day. And I'm actually very impressed by her because I tried to work retail for about a day and a half, and it didn't go so well. I realized that me being on my feet all day is not the best thing for me to do. I did not enjoy it, but she did it constantly for about 20 years. So anybody that can work retail, I have a lot of admiration for them. And that leads me to my object, which is Lamb Chop. This is a doll that my grandma actually gave me. It stayed in her car when she was alive for a really long time. And then when she passed away, I made sure that I got it because this is more than just a doll to me. It's Nana. It's my grandma. And it's something that she gave me that I hold really, really dear to my heart because it just makes, whenever I see it, I just think of her and all the good memories that we had. She actually had Alzheimer's right before she passed away really badly. So, but when I see this doll, I don't think about those sad times. I think about the good times that my grandma and I had together, that Nana and I had together. And this doll just represents that. It stays on my bed. And it might be weird for me to be a 24-year-old girl with a doll, but this isn't just a doll. This is the significance. This is Nana. So I kiss it a little bit and I just think of her. So yeah, that was the doll, and this is Nana. And this is my collage. I'm just going to do a little brief bio sentence or so about each person that's on here and why I chose them. First of all, Ellen DeGeneres. I'm a big fan of The Ellen Show. I think it's hysterical, and she just makes lesbianism very popular because of who she is. She constantly talks about it. She posts pictures of her and Portia, who is her wife, on social media and constantly talks about her on her show. So I just think that it's really cool that she's bringing lesbianism to the forefront. Which is why she is on here. The next is Roe versus Wade, and I chose this picture because this was the landmark case that actually gave women the right to choose for themselves whether or not they would like to have an abortion rather than having the government choose on their behalf. So that's why this is on here. Laverne Cox, huge fan, love Orange is the New Black, and I actually really liked watching Disclosure because Laverne Cox was featured in it, and I'm a huge fan of hers. And as they stated in the movie Disclosure, yes, she was just a hairdresser in prison, and will that make the biggest impact? Probably not, but it just, she's transgender and she's cool and she's awesome. And just the fact that they were using a transgender character on their show and talking about it so heavily was really cool. And she's beautiful, stunning. The next is Rosa Parks. So I am Jewish, and being part of a minority, even though I look the same as everybody else on the outside, the majority of people on the outside, I feel very different on the inside, being part of a minority. So I feel in that way I'm actually able to identify a lot with African Americans and their struggles, which is complicated because I look like a lot of Americans on the outside, but on the inside I feel completely different. And so I wanted to make sure that I represented minorities, because I am actually part of a minority, being Jewish. So Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus. And I think that's so cool that she just said, no, I'm not going to get up and stand for you, which was her right. And yes, she was jailed for it, but she made a difference. Michelle Obama, I feel like she epitomizes what it means to be a first lady. I think she's awesome. And I think she's so down to earth despite being as famous as she is, and she really made a difference in the lives of Americans, particularly for children. I believe that her project, while she was the first lady, not the first president, the first lady, was to ensure that children were eating healthier, and it worked. So that was awesome. As I stated before, I am Jewish, so I definitely made sure to include some female Jewish icons on here. I have Golda Meir, who is the first female prime minister of Israel, which is really cool. Anne Frank, who is best known for the Diary of Anne Frank. She kept a diary while she was in hiding during Nazi Germany, when Germany was being overtaken by the Nazis during the Holocaust. And I just think that's awesome that we were able to know so much about her because of how well she'd written and the fact that she kept a diary. It actually had a really sad ending, which is horrible, which is her being killed in the concentration camps. They ended up finding her and killing her. But I think that the difference that she made in the very short time that she was alive is remarkable. And last but not least, I have Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who unfortunately recently passed away. She was a Supreme Court justice, and as I stated, she is Jewish, so it's really cool to not only have like a female representation on the Supreme Court justice, but to also have that Jewish representation, which for me, being a Jewish woman, is really important. I also have Malala Yousafzai, who is Pakistani, and she made sure that girls were able to go to school and get the same education as men, and she actually received a Nobel Peace Prize for it, which is really cool. I have JoJo Siwa, who recently came out as being a lesbian, and truthfully, I'm not the biggest JoJo Siwa fan, but I have a lot of respect for her because of her decision to come out at such a young age. I think that she's only 16 or 17, so the fact that she was able to do that at such a young age is amazing, and for that I have a lot of respect for her. Who else do I have? I have Beyonce, Queen Bee, who is Houston royalty, I guess you could say, and she's actually made a lot of songs about feminism, such as If I Were a Boy, Run the World, that just talks about female powerhood and just sticking together and uniting as females and overcoming men, or at least being equal to them, which I think is really awesome. And last but not least, I have Hillary Clinton up here, who was the first woman to run for president. She won the popular vote, but unfortunately she did not win the presidency. But I think that just the fact that she was able to do that is really remarkable. So yeah, this is my collage, and I hope that you enjoyed looking at it as much as I enjoyed making it. Again, thank you so much for being an amazing professor, Professor Fernandez, and I am really looking forward to what this course has lied for me ahead. Thank you so much, and have a great afternoon or morning. Bye.